Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're in the dyno bay and you know what we're gonna do. We got a lot of the issues of the Cobra resolved. We did a return style fuel system. We did long tube headers. We did dual catch cans because I kept seeing oil in the intake when I was adjusting the aftermarket throttle body. It has a ported blower and a few other various mods and a flex fuel kit. So we're gonna dyno it with 93, and then once the tune and everything is happy, we'll throw in some E85 to do a little grand finale and see what it does on the E85. So I hope you guys are excited for this dyno video of the Cobra. This is the big brother of the 3-part series 2 valve we did. Check out that video, link down below. That video was awesome. We did a 3-part series on the 2 valve, long tube headers, bunch of cool stuff. So this is its big brother, same owner, and we are going to make some power on the dyno. So without further ado, let's get started. And it is idling perfectly. Air to fuel is perfect at idle. She sounds good. And it's smooth for a bass tune. That's really smooth. All right guys, so just running the Cobra. Let's go investigate our graph. So I'll put you guys right up front here. And this is bass tune. We have not done any power pulls. There's no timing in it. So this is just to see air to fuel and cleanliness. And you can see we did 427 horsepower and 476 foot-pounds of torque. And look at this, air to fuel was basically 11.7 the whole way here. So air to fuel is dialed in perfectly for doing the pull, and the graph is just smooth as can be. So we will send a picture of that to the tuner. But that is beautiful. All right, now we're gonna try to data log it and get a revision in and start pushing timing and make some power. All right guys, so we made that power, we looked at the log, and the tuner said there's no timing in it because the IT was higher than what it was supposed to be. And we checked the intercooler pump and there was no flow here. And that we put a big heat exchanger, a massive heat exchanger, and a super flow pump in it, similar to what we do in the AMGs. And when we bled the system, it was fine. The customer drove it to homecoming, all that, no issues. And then today she is kaput. I even tested all the wiring we did because we hot wired it. And I used an aftermarket pump similar to the Superflow. It's just a cheaper aftermarket one. And the second I plugged it in, it ripped. So today, to save us, we're gonna throw this in because it's the only one I have in stock, I believe. I'll check them, see if I have any more Superflows, but I just put like 3 in the SL55, the E55, and a G, so I am low on my Superflows. But we'll throw this in. This has the same flow rate, so it'll be good for now while I get a return and get a new one. And then that's an easy thing to, where it's located and plugged in, it is probably a 10-minute job to swap once it's on a lift. So I'm gonna drive it down to the main shop, put this pump in, and then we will be back on the dyno. But these are the things that we run into, and that's why it's good to log and dyno cars, because if he would just be on the street driving, you know, wouldn't even know. But we're logging it and watching IAT and all that good things, so we were able to catch it. This happens, new parts fail all the time. Electric new part is almost like 1 in 4 fail every time we install it. Dealer parts, we just went through like 4 dealer Audi air conditioning pressure sensors. They all were identical, they were all from the dealer. The 4th one worked. It's just, these are the things that we deal with, and now we had to load it on the dyno, that takes a half an hour. Unload it off the dyno, that takes a half an hour. Then drive it down the shop, all this stuff. You know, that is stuff, how can I charge that? You can't. It's just, you gotta power through, warranty this stuff out, and keep going. So these are why things take time and consideration. So, all right guys, so in the background, it looks like the Cobra is just chilling, but I'm about to show you what we're doing to swap out this intercooler pump. My 4-post and my other lifts in the maintenance bays are taken up. They're busy, the guys are busy down there. So they told me to get lost. Can't even work in my own shop. But I forgot that I have 5,000 pound or 6,500 pound, whatever it is, quick jacks. I love this setup. And we only needed to lift up one side a couple feet to really get in there and swap this out and drain a little bit of the coolant. So let's check her out. Ta-da!
Wow!
This works as a full service lift. We have plenty of feet exposed to get up in there and work. The quick jack is down on the lock. It fits on the dyno portion nicely, and the other side is safely on the ground. Well, while we're waiting for old Georgie, say hi, Georgie.
Hey.
There's Georgie. That's our master tech up at the dyno bay. He was taking the coolant clamps to clamp the coolant so we don't lose a lot of coolant off of the SL. So as in a previous video you guys saw, we had to pull the Whipple back off because one of the hoses that go to this pipe to the intercooler, the factory clamp had broken. So we clamped these off so we didn't lose a bunch of coolant in this system. And we're wrapping this back up. Blower is back together. Getting ready to do hook the looped fuel rail back up. The VRP, secondary air delete, all kinds of cool stuff on this one. Love the AMG stuff. I know you guys love the AMG stuff. Tour part, GTS, waiting on parts. That's about to be pulled out of here until the turbos and new manifolds come in. But God, the car is beautiful. And the Cobra. So let's go over this. It has a JLT performance intake, SCT, big ass mass airflow sensor to read all this awesome air coming in. We did the dual catch cans. A lot of this work was done before and we're just fine tuning it. Ported SVT blower, bigger throttle body. We did a eFlexFuel kit and 4 fuel rails with 8 AN feed, 6 return, and fuel pressure regulator there in the back. Mechanical fuel gauge on the rail, mechanical gauge, well, sensor to a gauge in the car. What else do we got cool in here? 850cc injectors so that when it's on E, it can handle plenty of fuel. Lower pulley, upper pulley down there, a bunch of really nice belt wrap kit pieces. And we're just waiting to get flow again in this tank. Georgie's gonna climb down there and secure our temporary pump until we get the other one warrantied out. I looked, I do not have a replacement for that pump. I'm gonna call VRP and see if they can get me one even sooner because they stock the Superflows also. Yeah, but we got a lot of cool things in here. And I love the quick jack lift setup. You can use one, you can use both. It doesn't matter. It's an awesome setup. Plenty of room for Georgie to work down there. Georgie, you want a drain pan?
I got a pig mat. I don't think I'm going to lose too much.
He's that confident he grabbed just a single pig mat. That is awesome. And there's the flex fuel module right there that controls all the flex fuel tuning. And yeah. All right, guys, so the aftermarket pump, the second one that I'd shown you previously, was also no good. We tested it, was no good. I scoured the shop. I found another Superflow. We put it on. It uses the other connector. Sometimes it's 3-wire, sometimes it's 4-wire with the Superflow. This is the bigger one, so we rewired it. We're finishing it up. Old Georgie's under there finishing it up. And we are about to then lower this back down, fill the coolant, and do some testing, make sure it's flowing real good, and then another pull. Log that, get a revision, and make some power. But that is the journey of working with new parts these days, or just working on anything, any car. It's mechanical. Anything can fail at any time for any reason, new, used, old, whatever, and it takes more time. We can say, hey, yeah, we'll knock that out in 2 hours for you, because that's what it calls for. It's what it's taken me before. And then 36 years later, 3 pumps, trips back and forth to the main shop, stopping to do diagnosis and other things. That's the reality of it. You know, if I was just working on one car at a time, 1, I wouldn't be in business. 2, I wouldn't have the equipment I have to be able to work on the cars. And 3, it's just, you can't do it, you know? So, trying to do all things for all people, and it just takes some time. We did get a new battery in here before. I just noticed this. I just put this battery in, and it says 12 of 24. They should have sent me a 25 battery, but I'm getting tired. The sun's going down, big guy. The sun is going down. Georgie's getting tired. I can see him over there. He's getting a second wind, so maybe I will. Maybe we'll fire this thing up. We'll make some power, and that'll put me in a good mood. So let's fire her up, guys. We have flow now, buddy. She is ripping through there. We're back in business. And we're back up on the roller because we're ready to rock. Here we go, guys. Gonna get up to 4th gear and do a 4th gear pull. Saving the log for the tuner. All right, guys, we did the run with the pumps running on the base tune, and we hit 477 and 518 foot-pounds of torque. Our fuel mixture was a little leaner than that first one, so we'll make some adjustments there. I was able to log that one really well, so we got a good data log out of that one. I'm interested to see what the next one does after we get a tune revision. And so this is why a dyno is so important, and logging, because both pulls felt exactly the same, but there's 50 wheel difference. First pull with the coolant pump not working and it pulling timing for a high intake air temperature, 427 with good intake air temperature, 477. And this is still the same tune. And the fuel, because we're making so much more power, it started to be not enough. It started to lean out. So we're gonna have to add more fuel to, making the 50 wheel more horsepower plus whatever else we're gonna throw at it. So guys, moral of that story real quick, if you have one of these supercharged cars, make sure you have cooling. Make sure your cooling is up to snuff. You may have driven this car or your car, this car, whatever, on the street, and you're banging gears and it feels okay, but you're really lacking 50 wheel horsepower that easily just by the pump not flowing enough. So yeah, check that stuff. Make sure you have good flow. Cooling, all the cooling mods are just as important as every other modification and power adder. So make sure you guys are doing that. And I just want to look at it again. Look how smooth for a base tune. I'm really impressed with this guy. It is just so smooth, both of them, just perfect. The torque comes on right away. It's great. I really like it. Really good numbers. Excited to see it with some revisions. All right, guys, that wraps up what we're going to do tonight. I need to get some fuel, so I'm going to take this home. I'm going to bring fuel in the morning. We are below quarter of a tank, and we do not want to run a car on the dyno below quarter of the tank because it does have aftermarket fuel system. So we're going to get fuel. We're gonna do a couple more pulls and then we are going to ship it. So see you guys in the morning. Hey guys, good morning. Back at the dyno bay, loading the car up, about to hit the roller. So let's get started. And guys, I just filled it with 6 more gallons of fuel. So let's see how she rips. All right, guys, I have it blown up here for you. But on that last run, this early morning, 487, 524. That's with more fuel. That tune revision, we were trying to dial in the mass airflow sensor. So 487, 524 horsepower. That's with us dialing in the mass airflow sensor a little bit better and letting it cool down, and that more fuel I put in there. So with an aftermarket in-tank setup with dual fuel pumps, it was like getting close to 1/8 of a tank. You don't want that. You want it up above that with aftermarket fuel setup. So that helps a lot from keeping the pumps getting hot and all that stuff. So make sure you guys, if you have your aftermarket fuel pump set up, that you talk to your tuner or installer and see how much fuel. On this car, I'd recommend anything above 1/8 of a tank. If you're at 1/8 of a tank, you shouldn't be beating on it. Anything above 1/4 of a tank, you're safe to beat on it. Yeah, so just make sure you're talking to your installer or the manufacturer or your tuner. And talked to the tuner last night. He wasn't thrilled with the battery voltage, which may be why I had to put a battery in this car. He suggested some specialty alternator. Apparently, fun fact with these, I did not know this, the alternators were an afterthought and they didn't have the room to put the GT bigger alternator on it, so they used a V6 alternator on it, and it just doesn't hold up well to when you put all the aftermarket stuff in that's drawing, like the big pumps are drawing a lot of power, the bigger cooling pump is drawing some good power, so you have all these extra things going on, let alone it wasn't good enough in the beginning. So he suggested some alternator. I'll find out. I'll let you guys know about that. But other than that, she's looking good. Sent off 2 logs, so we should have a revision today and finish this bad boy up. But we're super happy with the numbers. My only personal goal with this build for the customer was for it to run good, it to have good fuel pressure all the time, not 90 PSI deadheaded, and for us to beat Alex's DynoJet numbers with his Cobra. So we did that. We checked all my boxes, and yeah, Rusty had told the customer he thought 600 horsepower. I talked to the tuner who this is what he does for a living, is 03, 04 Cobras. He has shop cars, all that. He just hit 610 horsepower on his Cobra. And check out the guy tuning, helping me with everything, is Mustang Lifestyle. He's in Florida. He has been phenomenal, awesome. This is his job. He does these cars. So he is amazing. Mustang Lifestyle. But his car with high compression, built motor, cams, ported blower like this, all the similar mods like this. But he had cams in a built motor. He made 610. So this is making pretty good power. 487 wheel, and we're not done tuning. And we have a little thing, you know, gonna happen later where we dump in some pump E85. So it'll probably be like anywhere from E50 to E70. And we'll see what it does when we put that in. Shout out to the guys at eFlex. We love that. Link down below. The eFlex fuel controller, standalone fuel controller for eFlexFuel, is amazing. All my Mercedes have them, make great power. We'll see what it does on this Cobra. All right, guys, this may be the final run to end the video. Let's see what happens. Got the fans on. We got the dyno ready. We got air to fuel going. Let's rock this thing. All right, guys, and this is the final results. This is where we started, 427 horsepower and 476 torque. And the end result, 486 horsepower, 520 torque. So it looks like we picked up about, 60 horsepower and like 50 torque. That's pretty good. And this, you know, same tuner who has these cars dialed in. So that base tune was really close. We just need to adjust things, fueling for up top. And this turned out awesome. But as you can tell, both graphs are really smooth. Mustang Lifestyle, man, check them out. They really know what they're doing when tuning these Cobras. All right, guys, that wraps up today's video. I hope you liked it. It was fun seeing the Cobra hit almost 500 horsepower on 93 on the DynoJet. This is not one of those dynos that just inflates numbers. This one makes you earn it. So that is really solid horsepower for this car. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure you guys subscribe. I will see all of you on the next one. All right, I'll spare you guys the grief of watching us put the straps on perfect. I need to mic you up. Sorry guys, forgot you were just sitting over here. Sorry, Anthony, this is gonna be a long one, 22 minutes, holy shit. All right, Mr. Batman, why do you like Modern Masters?
I like Modern Masters because of the good service, the great common courtesy, and the incredible job that our co-workers and employees are doing here with customers and clients.
Right there. You're dead on it.
We're dead on it. We're dead, what I like to call nuts. Dead nuts. I will see all of you on the next one. I think I stole that from Alex. I will see all of you on the next one. He always says that. I should say something else. Let me say a new catchline at the end. And I will see. Nah, fuck it. Anthony, you'll figure it out. Why do you like working at Modern Masters?
I like working in Modern Masters because I enjoy my companions, my co-workers, and also the people that really do care about me.
High five, Daniel. Good job.
Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe.